The last 5 games, Hicks and Sutton have really had a great connection. I mean, Sutton's averaging about 90 yards a game.
Yep.
5. What's been the key to really getting that connection going, even when teams maybe know it's coming?
Yeah, I think it's 2 good players. Guys that work hard in practice, and the opportunities have come up and they've taken advantage of them. So obviously nothing's promised tomorrow, but we feel good about where those guys are. So they're doing a good job.
What have you seen in Schwartz over the years?
Yeah, he's a tremendous coach. He's my brother was actually roommates with him for a couple of years when they both worked for Cleveland. So I've known him a long time, and Georgetown grad, really good at chess, just a really smart individual who's a smart coach, and you see it when you watch him play. I mean, everything's well thought out, sound. There's certainly been an evolution in what he's done over the years, but just one of those coaches, you have your hands full every time you play him.
Jake, some zone stuff these days, it looks like?
I'm sorry?
A lot of zone from him these days?
Yeah, I mean, still a significant amount of man. He mixes it up. He's not going to let you target him. Keeps you guessing. Some challenging pressure looks, and then other stuff that he does off of those looks. So just because it looks like pressure doesn't mean it's going to be. And so we just, you really have to be on your P's and Q's when you're playing Schwartz for sure.
Bo has received, several accolades now with Player of the Month, Players of the Week. How have you seen him in the building? Has any of this changed him? What do you see from him day to day?
No, it's all the same. I mean, those are nice, but I don't think he pays a whole lot of attention to it, and he's got his hands full getting ready for the next game. So not a lot of looking backwards and, kicking your heels up and, enjoying the accolades. So it's another challenge in front of us, and he's been good. Whether it's been a tough week or a good week, he's on to the next game and getting ready to go. So he's been a real pro that way.
Joe, one of the things that teammates have talked about him is the ability to have a routine kind of from the very start. Was that something when you guys were going through the process, sort of understood about him that it still have to be developed as he got here? How would you view how he just kind of goes about his work during the week?
Yeah, I think it's a new schedule for him, just the way the NFL works versus college. So, he's a guy that's going to find his routine, but certainly helping him, telling him what, here's what Davis did when he played, here's what Drew did when we coached him. And so just help him drill down on exactly what he wants his routine to be. But no, he's very, very disciplined that way, very mature that way that, and Sean, I mean, that's Sean's thing. Every week's the same as far as how we go about business. So he makes it easy to get in a routine, and Bo's certainly adopted a good one.
Coach, do you prepare for Myles Garrett similar to how you prepare for Max Gross?
Certainly in the sense that, we're going to have a plan for them. Where they line up, how they line up can be different. But, knowing that, that's a player that can wreck the game if you're not paying close attention. And they do a good job. He lines up on the left, he'll be on the right. Sometimes they have him in the middle rushing a guard. And so just being aware of, hey, when this guy's in a certain position, we better know it and be prepared that, we're not letting him get 5 sacks, because he'll do it real easy if you let him. So definitely, we've seen a lot of these guys. Crosby you mentioned, and seems like every team's got one of these guys, but he's certainly the top of the bunch. So it's a lot better when they're not rolling those werewolves out there every week.
Sean mentioned that Bailey kind of runs against Holston.
Yeah.
Do you see any of those?
Sure. Yeah. Sean mentions, he's got good length, but, Sean always talks about their inseam, their legs aren't so long, so they're able to move and change direction and get in and out of breaks. Strong hands, so there's a lot of similarities there.
With Marvin's role, is it one of those things where the possibilities grow because you put stuff in, now defenses are accounting for different elements of it, and you can play off of that? Is it one of those things that can continue to expand because of it?
Yeah, I think so. I think when you put him in the backfield and you hand him the ball, or release him out of there, and the first time you're not sure how it goes. So when he does it and he does it well, then what goes through your brain is, okay, what else can he do? What's next? And so, expanding that role, letting him do different things. Talented player that, finding ways to get him the ball is important. And, I think we've done a better job of that of late, and we'll continue to do it.
It would have been easy for him to be frustrated with sort of where his role was.
Yeah.
But how have you seen him take to being able to expand a little bit, even if it's not just as a receiver?
I think he's excited about it. Anytime those guys get the ball in their hands, they're happy. And so, he's done such a good job as a returner, and certainly made plays as a receiver. But when you can guarantee certain looks, like, hey, you're getting the ball here, we're going to hand it to you, or on this past Sunday against the Raiders, they pressured and dropped him. We're able to get him the ball out in the perimeter with no one over him, and he went and made a big play. So, I think he's enjoying it, and it helps that he's an awfully smart player. And so as you give him different personnel packages and ask him to do different things week to week, he picks up on it with no problem. So that's been good.
Nick Bonitto gets to double-digit sacks. I know it seems like we ask you about him every week.
Yeah.
How does he continue to improve on a weekly basis? I'm sure he's drawn a lot more attention.
Yeah. Obviously, Nick was drafted to be a pass rusher. I mean, he was a great pass rusher in college, and he is a great one right now. I mean, he's playing well. His improvement really came through the run game. And the more you can play, the more chances you can rush, right? If you're only a DPR, just a rusher, we can't play you every down. So as Nick improved, he's gotten stronger in the run game. He's playing the run very well. That's allowed him to have more rushes. So, being a firmer player on the edge has allowed him to rush more often, and now his special trait has showed, and that's pass rushing.
What did you see with Vance when you first got here, when you looked at the film, you would have maybe seen him come out?
Right.
And how does that differ from what the player you watch now?
Obviously, again, through the draft process, we saw the special ability. You're always chasing pass rushers in a 3-4 defense. This kid was a natural rusher in college. Coming here, his rookie year, you can see the traits. But again, he wasn't playing all the time because he wasn't a great run defender. So him being a run defender and getting stronger on the edge has allowed him to have more rushes. And obviously, with multiple rushes, he is going to win his share. And having leads and having third downs be longer and those things, and having Coop opposite, having Zach inside, it's really a lot of things that allows him to get one-on-ones. And once he gets that, he's going to win his share.
Coach, going up against a guy like Jerry Jeudy, who not only from last year, but also a lot of the defensive players know from going up against. How does that go into game plan? Does it give an advantage? Does it help the defense prepare for a guy like that at all?
Well, our thought process each week is to take away their best concepts and their best players. So for us, it doesn't change, right? Just knowing Jeudy, the player here. May help a player who's playing against him. But as far as coaching and how we game plan, it's no different every week. It's not like we have different weeks where the plan changes, right? You're always stopping what they do best. You're taking their best players away, with your game plan. So, we don't see it that way. In this league, man, everyone's got rushers, everyone's got receivers, everyone's got backs. So it's the challenge each week to stop what they do best. And that's my goal this week as a coach.
That touchdown that Abdullah scored, it's one of the few things you guys have gotten hit on a couple of times, the running back wheel out of the backfield. What's the challenge there? You just have to accept that sometimes you're going to get an end on
the challenge is it's an NFL game, and the kid made a nice throw and catch. Jonah's right there. Obviously, as the field gets reduced in the red zone, you want to pressure the quarterback and speed him up a little bit. And he made a good throw and catch.
Hey, Vance, just your thoughts on having a Monday night home game. I think it's the first one since 2020, but that was COVID, and maybe you got to go back to like 18 before a Monday night home game before fans. How amped do you think the fans will be, and how do you feel about the cameras finally coming back on Monday?
I think it's always special to play on Monday night. Everyone's watching. We have a good young team here, and some folks haven't seen us play. They've heard. I think for players, it's always special to play on Monday Night Football. That's a special day, and again, everyone's watching, and our goal is to play our best football. Monday, Sunday, Thursday, but it's special to play on Monday. Absolutely.
Great to be with you. Win on the road, division opponent. Obviously, Will, Special Teams Player of the Week, which is a great honor, not only to him, but the whole group. So put a lot of work into that, and glad to see him and that unit rewarded. So Cleveland coming in here, good football team and good special teams unit. So with that, any questions that you may have?
How rewarding is it, since the Chiefs game?
Yeah, sure.
13 out of 13 in kicks since then, and
Yeah,
special teams.
yeah, no doubt. And that group, again, as I shared with you before, Mike, has been solid. But to put that work in, I think any time as a coach you see the group of men put work in and it pay off, that's always rewarding. But we still got a lot of ball left, and each kick our guys are locked in, and just glad to help the football team win a game. Anytime you make 5 field goals like that and help us come out of there on the road with a win, really rewarding, Mike.
And I understand you knew they were going to do the fake punt. You prepared for it, and they got it.
Yeah, just an execution issue. Yeah, they got it. Yep, that's a formation that we had practiced, and just an assignment issue there. And we've got a lot of young guys in there, and so when you're young like that, you're learning and growing, and we've got some players that are continuing to grow. That's what makes us excited moving forward, because we still have a lot of growth, not only on this football team but in our unit.
Hey, Ben, on the long return they had, what was the kind of the issues there?
Yeah, lost leverage there on the left side. Just give them credit. We got blocked over there on the left side. We got to get that ball turned back inside. Again, we've been excellent in the kickoff coverage element. You look at the numbers. I mean, our starting field position after a kick still remains a top 10 amongst the league. But that one we let out of the gate, and we'll get that corrected.
Are you able to learn more when you have mistakes happen, like the punt and then the return?
Yeah, I think you're always learning. Whether you're making mistakes, you never want to fall for the imposter that winning and losing is. I mean, so, there's always plays to be corrected, whether you're winning a football game or losing a football game. Fortunately, we were able to win that one, give us 2 in a row, and now come back home here in front of our home crowd on a Monday night.
Do you guys feel when you go back and watch some of, it seems like every week Marvin has a long one, is it always?
Yeah, to Mike's point last week, another one, Mike, 20, 23 yards, just didn't break it long enough, still got to finish. But now that's 3-4 weeks in a row where we've had those 20-yard returns, and that side of the ball has been good for us. I mean, the punt return yardage that we've had, and, we just haven't had a lot of kick returns. They've been kicking the ball deep. And so, again, I just think our guys are just itching to continue to get a pitch to hit.